partially responsible for how awesome the Nintendo 64 is. GoldenEye 007 is one of their most famous games, and Perfect Dark is supposed to be a spiritual successor to it. Does the dark match the eye? Story-wise, Perfect Dark starts out small and spreads out, making a mess. You play as Joanna Dark, a secret agent in the future for the Carrington Institute. The game opens with her sneaking into a Dadadyne building, a rival to Carrington Institute, to find a Dr. Carroll, believing him to possess knowledge that Dadadyne can't get their hands on. After the rescue, things go from bad to worse, and strange characters are introduced, such as the mysterious Mr. Blonde. It just ends up confusing and messy. Plot points just fly out of nowhere, and twists aren't that well thought out. Seeing that you need the expansion pack to experience the story mostly shows that the story wasn't a focus, so the blow is softened but still sorta hurts. Gameplay was where GoldenEye 007 shined, bringing functional, 3D, competitive first-person shooter gameplay to home consoles, and Perfect Dark effectively outshines it. Gameplay largely remains the same, with some minor differences. All weapons have alternate firing modes, not all weapons can be dual-wielded, weapons are futuristic and creative, and the AI enemies react differently. The game controls the same and relies on the lock-on, and it still holds up well. The levels are huge, and the higher the difficulty, the more objectives there are to complete. Unlike GoldenEye, most of the levels have story sequences where you speak to another character, which makes it feel more like a story, but the real appeal is to see how fast and accurately you can complete the levels to unlock cheats, similar to GoldenEye. The story mode can be played in co-op with another player or an AI partner, which also requires the expansion pack. There also exists a mode called Counter-Operative, which has the second player playing as an enemy soldier trying to kill the first player. This mode is interesting but can be abused. The second player can kill themselves and they always respawn as another enemy. They can also kill the other enemies with friendly fire, allowing a single player with two controllers to just abuse the game, which can be fun in its own right. The biggest mode is the Combat Simulator, aka Multiplayer. It has plenty of game modes ranging from deathmatch to capture the flag, with a huge amount of customization options. Never before has there been such a huge, deep multiplayer mode. Even better, it can be played alone. There are challenges and bots allowing for customizable single-player arenas. All the weapons from the single player can be used in multiplayer, and you can choose which weapons are on the map. Want to go all throwing knives? Go ahead. All rocket launchers? Sure. All tranquilizers? That's a mess of a match. The gameplay in Perfect Dark is set to age well. The audio in Perfect Dark is partially mixed, but mostly exceptional. The soundtrack is rare quality amazing, and plenty of the characters are voiced well, but there are some lame-sounding characters and a lot sound similar. Trent sounds an awful lot like the President Carrington. The grunt sounds are great, so great it's hard to imagine the game without them, and the guns sound extremely powerful. This game is up to Rare's audio standards. The visual front of the game pushes the Nintendo 64 to its limits, no question about that. There are plenty of times where the frame rate dips due to the chaos on screen, and that's using the expansion pack. It's safe to say that this game has the most content in any N64 game, so much content that it's amazing it fits onto the cartridge. The levels are huge, good looking, albeit somewhat empty, the guns look amazing, and the characters are well modeled, though they lack facial movement. The guns even have reload animations, and there are quite a few different faces for the enemies. Combine everything in the ability to have 4 human players playing at once with multiple bots with very little performance dips, and no game on the N64 can hope to surpass this game in this area. Simply Rare's crown achievement on the N64. Overall, Perfect Dark is one of the best games to be released during the Nintendo 64's lifetime. It might be the best of the generation. This game has so much content despite its short single player. It's a game worth every penny. Step up and enter the Perfect Dark. I bless the darkness with a 9 out of 10.